focus. Ideate, innovate, enable. GJEPC presents Gem and Jewellery Banking Summit 2022, powered by World Gold Council in association with IndusInd Bank.
As an initiative to promote better banking and business practices, Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council hosted the annual banking summit recently in Mumbai. The summit acts as a platform to discuss and deliberate the sector's developments. The summit was attended by the government officials, senior bankers, prominent businessmen, MSMEs, and other stakeholders from the sector. The summit was inaugurated by Chief Guest Dr. Bhagwat Kishan Rao Karad, Union Minister of State for Finance, who delivered a special address as well, which was followed by the inaugural session where Vipul Shah, Chairman, GJEPC, Kirit Bhansali, Vice Chairman, GJEPC, Sonak Parekh, Convener, BITC, GJEPC, and Somasundaram PR, Regional CEO, India, World Gold Council shared their views.
जेम्स एंड ज्वेलर सेक्टर ये बहुत ही हमारे देश का महत्वपूर्ण सेक्टर है। मुझे बताया गया कि अराउंड 7 मिलियन जॉब्स आर क्रिएटेड बाय दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और 7,000 exporters are there in this organization who are exporting gems and jewelries to different countries. ये बहुत ही बड़ी बात है, हमारे देश के लिए गर्व की बात है। भारत सरकार के 2025 तक इस क्षेत्र में 75 बिलियन US डॉलर का एक्सपोर्ट में योगदान की उम्मीद कर रही है। इस प्रकार जेम्स एंड ज्वेलरी सेक्टर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मेक इन इंडिया विजन को एक आदर्श उदाहरण है। जेम्स एंड ज्वेलर बिजनेसमैन एंड मैन्युफैक्चरर्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दे आर प्लेइंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन डेवलपिंग द कंट्रीज इकोनॉमी. मुझे बताने के लिए गर्व है कि भारत की इकोनॉमी आज दुनिया में सबसे 5th नंबर पे इकोनॉमी आई है और इन सब मिलकर हम काम करें तो मुझे भरोसा है एक भारत पूरे दुनिया में आगे बढ़ते रहेगा. के लिए मैं आपको और आपके बिजनेस को हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देते हुए मैं मेरे वाणी को विराम देता हूं. धन्यवाद.
The COVID-19 disrupted every aspect of the economy in an unprecedented manner. The gems and jewelry sector suffered due to restriction of manufacturing activities, labor shortage, cancellation of physical shows, decline in domestic and international demand, and disruption in the entire value chain. This was a challenging period for the industry, but the government's proactive and timely relief measures and trade-friendly policies helped the export and the manufacturing sector recover quickly. The year 2021-22 was a dream run for the Indian diamond and the diamond jewelry industry. We saw growing demand from key markets like the USA and the Middle East, and India could capitalize on this advantage primarily because of the constant support from the government in the form of relief measures and trade-friendly policies. Today, we take pride being a $40 billion export industry. Our vision is to take the gems and jewelry exports to $55 billion by the year 2025.
Clearly, we're very happy for the first time to host this banking summit because very frequently what comes up is the support to the industry from banking. You know, if there is one very important thing which we all know, which we have started hearing in the world now, which is ESG. The moment you go into recycling, you are able to segregate. We recycle a lot, but the point is you segregate it and then you tell the world this is recycled, anything in this world, leave alone gold, diamonds, whatever. Recycled means less impact on climate, and that could fetch us a better financing, because even bankers now will soon be forced to go into ESG financing.
In line with the industry's growth, and as Chairman already pointed out, the sector rose to a 6-year high, the peak of 80,400 crores in March 22. In a span of 2 years, it grew by 21.5% compared to 6.7%. The demand for jewelry and for lab-grown diamond is expected to see robust growth, estimated to reach 18 billion for jewelry in 2025 and 8 billion for lab-grown by the same year. As export business is expected to grow by 40% in the next 3 years, this will comfortably induce a credit growth of roughly 30% from 10.5 billion to 13.75 billion. I think this is a great opportunity for credit growth, not only in working capital, but also for project finance for term loan.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Union Minister of State for Finance, Government of India, Sri Bhagwat Singh Karad sir. He has accepted our invitation in a very short time. Sir, we are very thankful for accepting and coming here today. The upcoming session will throw more lights on matters of concern and offer a way forward to the industry.
The summit also witnessed a series of panel discussions. The first one focusing on the current reality and future possibilities for the Indian jewellery sector.
There have been 2 years of decline. Is there a demand issue? Is there an issue in terms of ease of doing business?
To be honest, okay, and you'll have to give me 2 minutes over here to answer this. Okay, see, we could have grown, I would say, 10 to 15% compounded every year, even in the last 3-4 years. But we haven't, because every year something happens. Like, okay, last year we grew to 40. Now, these last 6 months, we could have grown further, but we had the frequent lockdowns in China. So while the American market was good, but then you had the Russia crisis. So believe it or not, we are hit by some new, in India we had demonetization, GST. So this industry, and that's why I come back to resilient, in spite of every curveball which comes our way, macroeconomically, in the country, we've somehow survived and thrived.
Fair enough. Ghanshyam bhai, is the prospect looking better? And problems क्या है?
Last साल बहुत बढ़िया था. कभी भी बहुत बढ़िया होता है, उसके बाद थोड़ा डिफिकल्टी वाला समय आता है. कंपनी को उसकी स्किल बताने का, इंडिविजुअल लोग को उसकी स्किल बताने का, जो आपकी गुडविल है 5 साल, 10 साल, 15 साल, 20 साल, 25 साल से जो बिजनेस कर रहे, वो जो गुडविल है वो भी दिखाने का समय आता है. तो 5-7 साल के बाद ऐसा समय लास्ट 25 साल में देखे तो आ ही रहा है. वही टाइम का अभी ये समय आया हुआ है.
Suzanne, do you see a secular growth for the diamond sector?
It's clear that economic factors matters to the diamond industry and what it means to end consumers. Obviously, with US, China, and India being some of our most important markets. However, we are seeing these macroeconomic headwinds coming after a record year of recovery. And that's what we really need to put into the room. So whilst we say demand has gone down, it's relative to a high, and I think that's sometimes maybe where we look at it and say, we agree it's gone down, but let's look at where we came from.
Okay, so Ankar, has the demand for jewelry been explosive or very good in the domestic market?
If you compare the sales quarter on quarter, so in the last year, as you spoke of the revenge buying, so there was a very good demand that happened compared to the year before that. And that really, it was a worldwide phenomenon. And we could see it happening in the US, it could see it happening in India. So from a consumer point of view, with the inflation in mind, we need to normalize our expectations.
Mr. Patnaik, how is the industry in terms of credit demand and in terms of credit quality?
Credit demand is a function of the business activities. From July 2020 to July 2022, for 2 years, our industry did exceedingly well with higher profitability and also higher profits because the turnover went up. So we have seen in our top customers, there is a larger amount of reserve and surplus in their balance sheet. That has reduced little bit of demand on the bank debt. With lower demand, suddenly the inventory holding level went up and the capital reserve or the buffer that the clients are having has not been that great enough.
Mr. Jha, If you can tell us, metal availability is a challenge. Is it a challenge? And is IIBX a solution?
Metal availability is not a challenge, Lata. Per se, there is some issues are there, which online or offline sometimes we are discussing. So in international market, whenever demand are there from my client, we are going to market and we are getting. Per se, it is not a challenge. As of now, bank is not directly involved with IIBX. जो exchange है वो normally platform है जो customers के लिए. बट ऑफ कोर्स हमारा जो प्राइसिंग होता है वो हम सामने वाली बैंक हमें क्या कोट करती है, उनकी क्या कॉस्ट आती है, हमें क्या कॉस्ट आती है, उसके ऊपर हम प्राइसिंग करते हैं और उसके ऊपर हम प्रोक्योर करते हैं.
GJEPC presents Gem and Jewellery Banking Summit 2022, powered by World Gold Council in association with IndusInd Bank. GJEPC presents Gem and Jewellery Banking Summit 2022, powered by World Gold Council in association with IndusInd Bank.
A special session on fintech was led by Achal Mittal, co-founder, Equiloans, while Ashok Kumar Gautam, MD and CEO, IIBX, presented an interesting insight on IIBX and expanding bullion ecosystem for gems and jewellery sector.
A consumer can go to a brand and purchase jewellery on financing in approximately 5 minutes, right? And this is all possible because we have integrated with multiple databases which include CKYC database, PAN database, Aadhaar database, bureaus, account aggregators, etc. Right? And that's the beauty of fintech, right? Without any branch presence, without any physical footprints, just basis the digital footprint, the fintechs are able to solve the problem of affordability for most of the sectors, including the gems and jewelry sector.
इंडिया इंटरनेशनल बुलियन एक्सचेंज आप सबके लिए खोला गया है और सरकार की तरफ से पहली पहल है जो कि माननीय फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर जी ने बजट में अनाउंस किया था 2 साल पहले और 29 जुलाई को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इंडिया इंटरनेशनल बुलियन एक्सचेंज का गिफ्ट सिटी में खुद आके लॉन्च किया था.
The second panel discussed issues related to the availability of finance for the MSME sector.
My first question is to you, Manish Bhai. How many MSMEs do we have within the jewelry sector and what have you seen in sense of growth here?
MSME playing a big role क्योंकि आज भी देखेंगे कि in terms of diamond, small diamond, all manufacturer are SMEs. और हमारे जो काउंसिल के मेंबर है उसमें भी 80% मेंबर आर एसएमईज. और नॉट ओनली डायमंड, कलर जेमस्टोन और ज्वेलरी सेगमेंट में भी एमएसएमई का ही रोल बड़ा है. एसएमई की वैल्यूज नॉट इन इंडिया ग्लोबली है और उसके बिना इस इंडस्ट्री की कल्पना करना भी मुश्किल है मेरे हिसाब से.
Ketan, the next question is to you. How do you see these issues? And there are various things that you've been working on that as well. What is your sense on what really needs to be done in this area? What as a receivable exchange do you do? Do you also cater to exporters here?
We have a receivables exchange. So it's a new concept. It's called TREDS. So TREDS is basically looking at financing the receivables. So normally what happens is when the MSMEs actually supply the goods or the materials to the large corporates, there is always an issue of the delayed payments. So the payments don't come in. So that's where we come in. So that's where we have the participants on the platform, which is the MSMEs, the large corporates or the corporates who are buying from the MSMEs, and the financiers. We have done financing of around, there are 3 platforms, 3 exchanges. We have done financing of 1 lakh crore. And the NPAs over there is not less than 500 crores, of which 300 crores pertains to one particular corporate.
There are ways to go around when you are rating many of these MSMEs or diamond companies or jewelry companies, etc. What has been your experience? Because we've seen a lot of stuff get digitized, a lot is online.
My experience over the last decade, I think there has been a significant shift that this industry is seeing. When we started looking at this particular industry, maybe 10, 15 years ago, there was huge opacity. The diamonds are transparent, but the industry used to be opaque. Now when I look at this particular industry, I do see transparency has crept in. So that's the significant shift, I think, which the industry has seen over the last 10 to 15 years from a rating parlance.
All right. Gaurav, this one is to you. So while, just to give a sense on, when you talk so much about rating, how important is rating to you on your scale?
Manish, I would say very, very critical and important. Whatever due diligence we are doing while meeting the promoters, looking at the financials, but rating does come in as a third-party validation of what we are also thinking. It is moving, but can it further improve the professionalism, the transparency to give more comfort to the banks, to rating agencies, to other stakeholders? Yes, there is some distance to be covered, but we have covered a good distance.
Okay. Mr. Deora, this one is to you. So what do you assess when you are lending to an MSME, and has NPAs really improved over the years for you too?
MSME seems to be more or less, this is an unorganized sector. And the compliance part of it is very poor, because majority of the corporates and all these are having their, because of that, the risk is more. And where risk is more, it is bound to be a slippage as an NPA in that sector. In general, MSME sector is having 12.8% of NPA. I feel that is not towards the higher side, but still bit tough time is also there. And many may survive and come out of that, but those which cannot withstand, with all these supports, it would be difficult for them.
GJEPC presents Gem and Jewellery Banking Summit 2022. Powered by World Gold Council in association with IndusInd Bank. GJEPC presents Gem and Jewellery Banking Summit 2022. Powered by World Gold Council in association with IndusInd Bank.
Varun Kumar Verma, VP, Investments, Lifebox, talked about the alternative funding and how their company invests in a concentrated set of assets that leverage brands and technologies to sustainably shape the future of consumption in India.
We are a venture capital fund. We invest in companies that may be as early as a business plan or very little in revenue, maybe $1 million up to $10 million. We like to be in businesses that are sustainably built. We're not an impact fund, we're not a green fund, but we like to be businesses that hopefully leave the world a better place than we found it.
The third panel discussion was on a rising star, laboratory-grown diamonds, where the panelists highlighted that LGD is a sunrise sector and even mature markets like the US have many retailers selling LGDs.
Smith, I want to start with you first. And how do you look at the market? How has the growth been? How has the adoption, acceptance been when you look at lab-grown diamonds?
It has been a long time coming. People have started talking about this seriously. People have started understanding and have taken active measures to understand this industry, whether it be banks, whether it be rating agencies. I would like to thank everyone who's involved in this ecosystem to take this industry forward.
Roy, this one is to you. So, when we talk about diamonds, we always say that 50% of market still belongs to US. How is the market there? How is retail looking at both of these diamonds?
Retail America environment overall is challenged through high interest rates and strong inflation. But we see continuous growth in the lab-grown part of our business.
Zhang, let me come to you then. And what is the response of lab-grown diamonds within China? How are the consumers or the retail reacting to that?
China, the lab-grown diamond is rapidly catching the attention of consumers, but the explosive growth still remains to be seen. There is still so much room for development. While strengthening downstream marketing and consumer education, stabilizing the quality and confidence of the supply chain in middle and upstream is also an important support for capital and retail brands to enhance their confidence and make efforts to enter the retail market of lab-grown diamonds.
Parag, this question is to you then. Where do you see India leading, and what kind of growth numbers are you working with?
The growth numbers, so it's about more of reach and more customers we can reach. So we focus, if I talk about ourselves, we focus on literally doubling the revenue. And that can be done with the snowball effect because we see 40% of our customers are repeat customers. We try to get, if we're getting 100 customers a month, we would target 200 next month. So that's the way our growth strategy is, by doubling the number of users.
Nilesh, this one is to you. What is the potential increase that you see in employment, in exports, and what support are we looking at from the government for this?
When I had studied this, the industry in 2005, I had predicted that by 2015, lab-grown diamonds will be 7% of the world market. Okay, obviously we are a little bit behind that, but it seems that by 2022 we have almost caught up or slightly exceeding that projection now. Lab-grown diamonds also have the potential of emerging as a new category and becoming a fashion, almost creating a new category of products.
Ranveer, I've had you waiting all this time to listen into everything. So when it comes to lab-grown diamonds, as a banker, what is your sense into this?
We at State Bank of India have been quite proactive, sensing the opportunity. State Bank was the first commercial bank in India to come out with a formal, project finance policy for this lab-grown diamond. And we have financed quite a number of units at Surat, and we are looking forward to a healthy growth. As a banker, the policy is a little bit better aligned towards the lab-grown because the growth rate is expected to be higher as vis-a-vis natural diamond.
What is the major hub that you see of manufacturing diamonds within China?
India has a long history of jewelry, but for lab-grown diamond, especially CVD, actually in China we started in 2012 and 2013, and it was in 2015 that we saw the fast growth of lab-grown diamond. Now the production capacity of lab-grown diamond in China maybe is not as big as India. Now about 1,800 to 2,000 units of facilities for producing lab-grown diamonds in China. I think we account for like 60% to 70% of lab-grown diamonds production facilities in India.
GJEPC presents Gem and Jewellery Banking Summit 2022 was a great success, and the evening culminated with a vote of thanks by Ajesh Mehta, co-convener, BITC GJEPC.
Today's seminar has shown the resilience the trade has shown in volatile times. It has been further highlighted the responsive approach of the Council and its trade members towards the rising potentials of the jewelry and the lab-grown industry. I would like to express my gratitude to the Honorable Union Minister of State for Finance, Shri Bhagwat Kararji, for his presence, support and guidance. I will also extend my gratitude to all the panelists and speakers for giving their valuable suggestions on how to take the industry forward together. I would like to acknowledge the support and guidance of Mr. Vipul Shah, Chairman, GJEPC, Mr. Kirit Bansali, Vice Chairman, our ex-Chairman, Mr. Colin Shah, and the CEO members. I would like to thank our partners who supported this event. This edition of the Banking Summit was powered by World Gold Council in association with IndusInd Bank. Thanks to all our co-partners, ECGC, Alliance Insurance Brokers, Diamond India Limited, Green Lab Diamonds, Malca-Amit and Yes Bank. Once again, thank you all for being with us. Let's enjoy the evening.
GJEPC presents Gem and Jewellery Banking Summit 2022, powered by World Gold Council in association with IndusInd Bank.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.